Alright, so we're taking a look at some of the projects that we've made with this Ender 5 and talk about some of the experiences and some of the issues and troubleshooting along the way. Alright, welcome to number 7 maybe in our series, I'm not sure. This was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th print, so this will be the 6th thing, I think. So we're doing a series of looking at the things that I've printed on this Ender 5 as a new 3D printer, as someone who's new to the printer itself, to 3D printing in general, and to the software that I'm using to slice or create the machine files, and to render the actual files, to design and render the actual three-dimensional images. So we're up to project number 5, I believe, and that will be another item that we rendered from our logos and images from the past. At this point, I had run out of the white filament, so I was down to just black, and I didn't really want to do any projects that would be better in white, right? I only have black and I don't have any money to buy some new stuff. So decided to do the GunChannels logo, which is a cool logo we've had since 2013. Ralph came up with it and we've been using it ever since, and wanted to make another version of like a coin or whatever, keep it around the same scale. But since there's not much to this one, and unlike our gear logo where there's a there's a hole in it by design, there's nothing really to do with this except maybe hold it this way. So what I decided to do was put a hole in it this way. Can you see that hole? So I put a hole going down the center. It goes in this side. If I can get it to show back up there. It goes in this side through the grip. There's actually a little channel in there. Maybe I can turn the lights back on since we're looking at stuff that isn't going to get washed out. It goes through a little channel there and then through this hole on this end, and that gives you a place to shove something through there. I don't know if I have anything to shove through there, so maybe one of these zip ties, and that'll show you like it can go right through, and now it can be on a cord, or I don't know what to do with it, but put a hole in there. So I thought that was cool, and it just prints with that hole. It's not like we drilled that hole, so I just designed it with that hole in it, and then this prints out. Eventually, we started out, I kind of mentioned this in one of the earlier videos, started out printing them so that you could see them. But then what you get is this weird kind of result of the printer, the design, or what do you want to call the texture that it comes out with at the end. So we figured out if you flip it over, then you get a consistent matte look instead of the kind of textured result that you get on the other side. This is actually the way that it prints backwards, so it ends up with all the last stuff being this texture. You flip it over to what was printed first, and then you get a more consistent looking image or piece, I guess. So that's the Gear Websites one. We made a giant one. We made these, and this was this the first attempt? This might have been the first attempt at printing 2 at the same time. So we did a couple of things. First, I printed them like this, if I remember right, to experiment with flipping it over and getting a consistent look, but also to do 2 things at the same time. So I did that, and that worked out good. It showed me that, that's what happened, but I end up with one that's goofy and one that I want, right? So I redid the design again, flipped them both over. Now it only prints out ones with 2 flat tops. So that was neat. And I think that's all that's on there is 2. I didn't want to go crazy, and I didn't go crazy, so I only did 2. There is still a hole in there, which is neat. It's just, scaled down much smaller. So, didn't want to be outdone. I went ahead and did that even smaller, playing with resolution, what the printer can do. And actually, I think I might have done this one first. I went too small, decided that while this is neat, kind of pointless, there is still a hole in there. It's just really tough to see because it's so small. But there's still a hole, goes all the way through. You can shove a pin or something through there. And I think this was when I determined these are too small. Let me go up a level, and that's when I flipped the second one over and made them both print nice. All right, so that was that was a quick project. I still use the software to create the image by taking an image and drawing over it. I hadn't yet figured out how to take an image and convert it straight to mechanical so that you don't lose any resolution or quality or whatever. I also figured out somewhere in the process here by accidentally printing one of these and naming things wrong on the card. That's a whole nother video, but there's a naming system to these cards that just particular. It's not proprietary. It's just particular to the cards. I'm sure I've encountered other things with the similar thing. But anyway, I ended up printing accidentally one of these, and once I figured out that it had started printing wrong, I decided to let it print for a while. So what happens on something like this, when it's got some thickness, right? There's some dimension to this. It's going to print down a layer like this, and then it'll start to lay down that honeycomb. That internal area won't need to be solid plastic. It would take too long and it would potentially warp and probably have issues. So they just kind of fill it with a honeycomb. So there'll be a couple of layers of not honeycomb, of just continual fill. Usually one way, then a second way, sometimes a third way, depending on how you design it, and then they start the honeycomb. So I let it print until before it got to the honeycomb, but until it finished the first layers, and then I just told it to stop printing. So it basically looked like this on the printer. And I told it to stop printing, just interrupted the print. And what I'm ended up with is a really thin version that might be cool for putting on something or laminating or adding to a design. So that's something else that could be done, is just making very thin versions of stuff and then having them as an embellishment or a design element. And these wouldn't take very long to make comparatively. And while they're not the same for sure, they're not going to be a coin or something, these can be pretty interesting as is. So it was a pretty interesting accident, but discovery, learning opportunity. All right, well, with that, we'll wrap this one up. That was Project 5, so the next one will be Project 6. And I'm trying for the life of me to remember what the next project was. I'll have to do that, and then we'll start the next one up. So if you remember from the last one in this series, we do have one of the gear logos being printed. We had an issue in the beginning during the last video where the cord broke, and it seems to be just printing just fine. So when it's all done, we'll see if there's some kind of weird hiccup in it or whatever, but there's a little update on that print. Maybe we will have that run through these. We'll find out. If I don't print these, or if I don't upload these in order, that'll be pretty chaotic. All right, till then, we're posting these to start a conversation and get some people interested who are interested in 3D printing to be interactive and to offer advice or to ask questions. We've got people who are interested and able to answer questions, and can only encounter so much individually. So if we share our experiences together, we're going to learn a lot more. So that's the point of these, to show you step by step through our process of learning what we've discovered, and looking forward to hearing back in the comments wherever you happen to find the video. Till then, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more of this series on our first attempts at printing with the Ender 5.
Our onboard golden gear system tells us you somehow activated purge mode. This feature is designed to eradicate small pests, such as insects, spiders, and mice. But in certain situations, larger prey, such as pets, and some humans could be targeted. We're sorry for any inconvenience. If your vacuum bot has decided to purge your house of all living things, press 3. To end purge mode, you will need to access the options menu. To do that, you will need to distract VacuumBot in order to get close. We suggest throwing something at it, like a blanket or pet.
What in the world is going on here? Fucking kidding me?
The automated system has detected high levels of profanity. Your bad attitude has been filed in our customer database. Now then, have you calmed your sassy boots down? If so, press 1. That's better. So, are you willing to throw your pet at the vacuum bot? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. What do you mean, no? It could come down to you or it, and believe this, any pet would sacrifice you in an instant. Look into their cold animal eyes and tell me they wouldn't. Come on, press yes. Fine. Throw whatever you've got over the vacuum bot, and while it struggles to be free, zip it close and turn it off. Uh-oh, when you attack your vacuum bot, you activated Guard Security mode, and it will now identify you as a trespasser. Your vacuum bot will classify any area it's cleaned as its personal territory. Has this vacuum bot cleaned your entire home?
Hey!
Well, it's vacuum bot's house now. We suggest you run. Have you left yet? When you have reached minimum safe distance from the vacuum box territory, press 1.
Motherfucker!
Step aside, ladies.
Congratulations! You stopped the unstoppable killing machine that is VacuBot. Unfortunately, you can't stay here, though. But VacuBot has forwarded all recorded information about you to every VacuBot model in operation, all of whom will now hunt you ceaselessly until your DNA has been cleansed from the surface of the planet. This is your life now, to hide and wander. Never a moment's rest in this barren wasteland that is now your existence. Unless, of course, you'd like to purchase a place on the exclusive VacuBot Termination White. Go to hell. For a special introductory rate, press 1.
Boss is pushing my team the hardest. Wants the harvesters running doubles.
You think he's hard on you because we're not from here?
I doubt he gives a shit where we're from. The proles on my shift do. Don't like having extra for a manager.
Fletcher, have you made friends with any local kids?
Yeah, been hanging out with a few of them. Talk kind of strange, but other than that, they seem cool. They're all modded like me.
What about Sedgwick? Has he made any friends?
I don't really know him.
Right. Of course he hasn't.
Fletcher, can you keep an eye on him for me?
You know how he
He
is.
needs to learn to
You're
adapt.
too hard on him. Poor kid's the only unmodded 16-year-old for 100 light years.
Bullshit. It's about character. Lack of it. No amount of modding would fix that.
Not his fault. Dumped onto a frostbit fucking colony world.
Not his fault.
I know he can be difficult, but maybe it's
Sedgwick's always had it too easy. How is he gonna learn to adapt if he doesn't even try?
I'm coming with you.
Not a good idea, Sedge.
What? You think I'm afraid?
No, I just...
Look, I know everything's so fucking easy for you. But don't worry about me. I can take care of myself.
Look, I know it bothers you for some reason.
Some reason? You know what it feels like? Always having my little brother be better than me?
Not my
And
fault.
then we moved to this fucking ice ball, and every kid's modded like you. Different. That's what the grown-ups say, but they mean better.
Fine. If you're coming, hurry up and get dressed. Hey, Sedge, check it out.
Quit screwing around. It'll scan you.
Whatever.
Your father. Look at that.
Good to survive. Bet you wish you were back on Earth.
For this.
Fucking fuck. The fuck?
Oh, Fletch!
Hey, Logan.
Who's that?
Sedgwick. My brother.
So. Extra. Not modded. Why'd you bring it?
He wanted to see the frost whales.
Okay. So, you run fast, extra.
Fast enough. Venga. These whales, how big are they anyway?
Grande cappuccio, extra.
What's that mean?
It means fucking big extra. Big enough to eat you up one bite. You scared?
Fuck off.
whales don't like the machines. Sound too much. Once they are off the ice, they're knocking in glass. Frost whales. Up. Fucking danger. Okay? Whales break ice for breathing. They won't stop till they breach. They always hit 7 times. Then minuso 7.
Minimum 7.
When frost whales hit, we run from here to there. Got it, Fletch?
Venga!
How about you, Ekstrom?
Yeah, right. Venga!
When the frost whales hit, we go.
Sedge, we have to go. Sedge, snap out of it.
Get ready!
We have to go. We have to go now, Sedge. Sedge, let's go. Sedge! Come on, man!
On your own, Fletch!
Fuck, my leg!
Fletcher! I got you. Come on!
Sometimes, fix it.
Fuck off.
Amazing run, Sedge. Oh. Venga, venga.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. Holy shit. That was crazy. The size of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Big, right?
Huge. Hey!
Hey, Sedge, you coming?
Yeah. Yeah! Coming.
You see the way it sucked in that breath? Crazy. Never would have seen shit like that back on Earth. That was amazing.
Yeah. I know. Amazing.